Hey everyone, it's Lomi. So I'm not recording with my usual equipment today. You can't see it, but my workshop is a huge mess. There are boxes everywhere. Today I'm packing up a lot of my dolls. I'll tell you a bit about why later on. First I thought I would show you the crew, because it's the end of the year and I usually do something where I show how everybody has come along. Right now I've got Arios, who is not wearing any pants, so he's gonna stand down here. I had a lot of plans to make outfits for him this year, and I ended up making him this vest and nothing else. It was one of those things where I had the best of intentions, but never really got around to it. And, unfortunately, I won't be able to get anything else done for him this year. At time of recording, this is December 21st, which is the shortest day of the year, so I'm trying to record first thing in the morning while it's still nice and bright in here. I'm going to keep out a few dolls. I'm going to keep out Rune so that I can keep working on his modification project, and I'm going to keep Laylee out until I finish a tutorial I'm doing for her body size. I'm also going to be keeping out Lilibelle, my Pookie Pookie, and Lulu, my Little Fee, just because they're really small, so their boxes fit on the shelf. Rune up there, he is going to be stored in a closet somewhere because I really don't want to have to unstring him and put his human parts back on so that he'll fit in his box. So his box is going to hold all my floating heads and doll parts that I don't have anywhere else to store very well. My furnace just kicked on and suddenly it's really hot in here. So one awesome thing that happened recently that I haven't shared on YouTube that I've shared on Instagram is that I got Rune's faceplate printed. And I have been working on sculpting this. I've shared it on Twitch a few times when I'm doing work live. I started reshaping his face to get it the way I want, working on sizing the eyes. I'll start smoothing out the print pretty soon, but I'm going to build up the jawline, and he's actually going to have slots added for ears so that I only want to make one head back, and it'll be universal with all my face plates, and it'll have interchangeable ears, so that's going to be a fun thing to work out. Once we are into 2019, I really want to get this finished and get it cast and get his head custom sculpted by me on him so that he'll finally look like the vision I have in my head. So here's Arias getting packed away. I only have 2 face protectors, so I'm going to have to pick which 2 dolls have my favorite face-ups. There we go. One down. So, Lilibelle had no real changes this year, and I don't plan on doing much with her next year either. She's pretty much the way I want her, so, you don't mess with something once it's perfect. 2 down. Lulu also didn't really change much, and she's close to being finished. I'm going to make her a new wig, and I have an outfit that I want to make her. I have fabric that I've been saving for it for a long time. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. It's kind of the story of my life, I feel. I have all these ideas and never quite enough time to get to everything. So here's a fun little thing that I have for packing away face plates. This is a piece of foam from the box that the Apple Smart Mice come to the Apple Store in. And if you go to the Apple Store and you ask really nicely, they will give you the little boxes and these foam inserts. And they are awesome for loose face plates. And if you put 2 of them together, you have a perfect protective faceplate carrier that can be taped together and put down inside a box. And they work well for elf ears too. A lot of my dolls ended up being kind of neglected. I had a lot of other stuff going on. I had a lot of health challenges this year, and that made it a lot harder to focus on creative things. So I'm a little bit behind on all of my creative ventures. but hopefully next year will be a little bit more productive. Vaughn was supposed to get a whole new outfit. I think I did make his shirt this year, didn't I? It looks new. And I did just make his Christmassy vest, but he did not get an outfit in time for Christmas, so maybe next year I'll be able to do something nice and festive. But for now, he needs to just be put away, stored somewhere safe for a little bit. So my goals for next year, I think mostly are just going to be this year's goals carried over and trying to finish everything that I started. I have a lot of unfinished projects, I have unfinished dolls, I have faceplates and heads sitting around with no bodies to go with them. But before I get to those, I think it's time to really focus on the dolls that I've had for a long time. And they deserve to be finished at some point. If I'm not going to finish them, then what's the point of having them? But we'll see how much customization I can squeeze in. Gosh, Vaughn, come on, let go. He does not want to give up this shirt. He must be very fond of it. For Vaughn, I think my big plan for next year is just getting his Christmassy looking outfit finished. I really would like to make him some armor at some point, and I have a lot of ideas for how I'd like to try doing that, but we'll see if I actually get to it in the midst of everything else that I want to do. And that's 4 dolls packed. So even though I'm keeping her out, she's not going into storage, I am going to put Laylee into her box. So it's pretty much the worst time for it with all of the holidays going on right now and everything. But we are putting our house up for sale in just a couple weeks. The realtor is coming to meet with us in a few days to talk about pricing and what we need to finish and fix up to get our house ready to go on the market. When we bought our house, the biggest reason that we bought it was because it actually ended up being less expensive for us to buy a house than to continue to rent. But when you're young and you're doing things like buying your first house, you don't really think about the needs that you're going to have as you get older. And now that my daughter is school age, we found that the school we are in District 4 is not a very good school. And we were able to transfer her for kindergarten to a much nicer area, and there's no guarantee that she'll be allowed to come back every year. They only accept transfer students if they have room that particular year. 5 down. I think I have too many dolls. So naturally, as we get our house ready for sale, we are cleaning, packing, staging things, and since my dolls are really important to me, I don't really want them to be sitting out when there are strangers going through our house. Pearl is so pretty, I almost don't want to put her away. But I don't have any projects for her immediately other than painting her arm. So I can keep the arm out separately and work on that in the coming weeks. I think one of the biggest goals I have in the coming year is not so much about the dolls, but trying to get something happening with Rune and Feral's story. I've been working on those books for so long. I guess it's been about 17 years since I started them. I was just a kid when I started. In a lot of ways, their story and the work that I have to do on it still is a lot of what I consider my calling. And, you know, it's what got me into dolls. It's always been important to me. And I want to try to make progress with it as we go into the new year. I recently finished the 10th revision of the first book, and I'm going to be sending it for editing in January, toward the end of January, and after that I may try sending query letters again. But as I learn more about publishing, as time goes on and I meet more people, I'm not always sure that pursuing a traditional publishing contract is the best thing for me to do with the story. One of the things that I've been reading about is starting your own publishing company, because a lot of books have come to be through that method. That was how Aragon was published. Edgar Rice Burroughs had his own publishing company. A lot of people consider that a form of vanity press, but I don't think that that's a very accurate assessment, because vanity press is where you just pay a publisher to put out your book and you get some copies printed, and that's pretty much it. Everything else is up to you. But when you start a publishing company, you are responsible for everything. You're responsible for commissioning covers, getting the cover art done. You do all the formatting, you do all the advertising. You are the one who keeps stock, keeps inventory, ships out your books. I worked very briefly with a publisher as an unpaid intern, and a lot of the things that I've seen from that side of publishing is that I don't always agree with the way that they do things. I could talk about that forever. I don't know if anybody wants me to. And that's something that I would like to explore. I would like to talk about what I do and what goes into the process of trying to get these books published. I don't know if that's something that anybody would want to hear about, though. Where does this piece go? So I guess if any of you are interested in hearing about what goes into book preparation and what I'm going to be doing with these books in the next year, then, let me know. Because it's something I would love to share. I'd love to talk about it. Her face plates are going to be packed in something else, because I did not put this back in this box correctly. I'm not entirely sure that there's room for any faceplates in here. Like Rune, his box is a beast. I have not had this box open since we moved into this house, and now I can't seem to get it to come loose. This is a lot more work than I thought it was going to be, and I'm tired. That works so much better when there's a big heavy doll inside it. Oh, I got it. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. I'm gonna go ahead and pack Rillin's head and body, and I'm just gonna keep his legs out because I can airbrush those without needing the rest of the body out here. Here's Rune's faceplate all packed up. This is one of the projects that I won't touch again until we are in the new house. And I don't know how long that's going to be, so for a while I probably will work on making tutorials for some of the patterns that I've created but haven't created tutorials for yet or made them available yet. But you may see a little bit less of my dolls and more projects where I'm finishing things that I've started. I guess I could make things for Rune because he's going to be out here, so hopefully the moving process will not be long. I worry about that a lot. Like, what if it drags on for months? What if we can't get our house to sell? What if we can't find something else that's in our budget? But all I can do is stay the course, keep working on my projects, keep trying to make things happen with my writing, and eventually everything will click into place, I hope. And the lucky winner of the second face protector is gonna be this big guy, because he is my favorite, so. Come here, big guy. So yeah, for a bit, I guess it's gonna be me and this big guy hanging out more than anything. So I guess I'll stop there. I know this has been kind of long and rambly and out of the ordinary of what I usually do, but with everything going on around here and all of the packing that I'm going to be doing, I felt like it was important to let everybody know what was going on and what to expect. And in the coming days, I hope to keep everything as regular as possible with weekly uploads of tutorials, maybe some accessories and props and things like that that I can work on without having to have the dolls out. And of course, if there's anything in particular that you want to see or hear about as we go into the new year, make sure you leave me a comment and let me know what that is so that I know what to focus on. And I hope you'll stick with me through this kind of transitionary period where we're going from one house to another, and I'll be disassembling all of this and rebuilding it somewhere else. And with luck, everything will be back to normal pretty quickly. So thanks for watching, everybody. If you have any questions or anything, feel free to let me know, ask. I'm going to be posting regular updates about the moving, the progress, on Instagram, so you can always find the latest updates there, and I'll try to keep it out of videos from here forward until we move into the new space and I will set up my next workshop. So yeah, thanks for watching, Happy New Year, and I hope you have the best of luck in the coming year and all the best doll projects coming together. I'm gonna need more boxes.